So, I think there's a genre of literature out there that really does not get a lot of respect, and that is the postmodern genre of literature, which is broad and very interesting. And if you have never read a postmodern book, you should, because usually very witty, very funny, but also can be very dark and very realistic at the same time. So some of the postmodern books I've read include Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, which, I mean, regardless of what kind of books you read, everyone should read that book. It is heartbreakingly beautiful, and sort of goes towards the futility of life a little bit, is as its main focus. I mean, it is a fantastic book. I read it in my sophomore year of high school and absolutely love it. Stands up to rereading. Would 5 out of 5 would recommend. Another book that I read was called The Normals, and that one was a little bit harder to get into. Um, so I mean, again, postmodern is something you need to acquire a taste for. It's not just something you can really dive into right away. I mean, but at the same time, the only way you can get a taste for it is really to dive into it. But there are like levels of postmodernism, if that makes any sense. So like Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close would be like one of those really like, yeah, it's postmodern, but like you can sort of read it and understand it. But like The Normals is a little bit harder to understand, just simply because of the topic it deals with. And again, it goes towards the futility of life because the whole thing takes place in a drug center. And at the end of it, the tests are really for nothing. I don't want to spoil it if you're gonna read it, but you'll find out. And then the third postmodern book that I've read, and really, really, I love this book to death, is called If on a Winter's Night a Traveler. It's by Italio Calvino. I read it for my AP Lit class last year for an assignment, but it is an absolutely fantastic book. The way it's divided up is that someone is reading a book and finds out that there are pages missing. So he goes to the publisher and says, look, there are these pages missing, like what happened? And you go through this journey, but during his journey, it's interspliced by parts of the book, but it's really like a bunch of different short stories within the greater novel. And at the end of it, you sort of realize what the point of all of it is. So it is a fantastic read. I love it to death. Yeah, and I'm really excited because for my English class next term, we're reading White Noise by Don DeLillo, which I have heard nothing but good things about. So yeah, postmodern literature. If you haven't read it, give it a shot. I'll put links to look at, search for all of the books I've talked about. I mean, you can find them at used bookstores, libraries, really anywhere. But I'll put Amazon links in because if you're like me, you like to own it. You like to go through it, love it, own it, um, make it your own, really. So yeah, that's thoughts for tonight. Yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Sorry for not getting it up. I mean, yes. Oh my God, I've only missed one day. Um, my internet was on the fritz and I was out late. So yeah, okay, bye.